Okay, I couldn't really describe what type of creepy experience I had to go through. So, I really loved going to this pond, and it was located a bit far away. But when I reached there during the daytime, everything is fine until I start to hear sounds. I start to hear sounds from an animal, but it doesn't sound like any animal I've ever heard before. It happens in the daytime. It doesn't sound so. During the day, I would love this pond, and I love it, and it seems really good, really nice there. But it sounds as if I'm okay. It sounds as if I'm hearing some animal sound that I cannot even describe. It's very faint though, and I can hear it. I'm thinking to myself, okay. So I came back the next day. The same thing happened. This came back the next day. The same thing happened. When I started to visit it at night, this is when this things got really creepy. As I visited it at night, time I was walking there, I could see the silhouette of an animal, and I was approaching the pond, but I could see in the darkness an animal sitting down, and it wasn't any animal I could describe really. It had two long ears, and it was sitting in like a human position, and and it started making the sound I've always been hearing, but it was sitting right beside the pond. I was about to film it. I was about to film the animal when I realized that I didn't have my phone with me, and I couldn't get back. I was just my eyes were locked on this animal, wondering what is. I was thinking to myself, okay, this must be just a battle or something like that. Just nothing to worry about really. Then I had a sense that I should go. I had the sense that I should just go out, and I just shouldn't. That I mustn't stay here anymore. So I went back home, thinking to myself in bed, what was this animal? What was this animal? I had no idea what it was. And later on, I decided to visit it at night again. Next day at night, when the animal wasn't there, I decided to go for a proper hunt for the animal. And I looked at the pond, and I saw the reflection of the animal right under the pond at the reflection. Now I know that this is impossible because, I mean, first of all, you really can't see under the pond. It's mostly like you can't see under it. It's very faint, and even if that's the case, the way that it looks is as if this should be a reflection. This should be like a reflection, other than just a than an actual something inside the pond. But this was impossible because there was nothing above me, and it was it was reflected as if my face was the animal's face, and I'm staring at my reflection. It was like that, and I realized that the fact that I started to hear some behind me. The bushes started to crawl behind me, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, guys, okay, just relax to it. And at this point, I am literally not here, but I'm literally at a pond at night, and I'm creeped out. This is what literally happening at that point. And okay, guys, okay, I can think about it. Then suddenly, I did not expect this by accidentally. Fell into the pond. I felt like if I'd been dragged to the pond, and I fell into the pond. The water was cold though, and I quickly managed to get myself back up. I examined the pond again, only to see that there was nowhere else. There was nowhere else around. There was literally nothing else around. Okay, okay. It was just pond. And little did I realize that there were not many animals like ducks or any like there weren't many ducks during compared to daytime. Daytime it has ducks, but nighttime it has a little bit like I've not seen a single duck or a single animal. What's weird, I've not even seen a single bird or an insect anywhere, an insect, even far away. I can see a very very tiny insect, even if I'm like a few. I've not seen anything like that really, nor any sounds of dogs barking or owls. You know what I mean? Nothing, no sounds of dogs. It was only me and that animal. I cannot explain it. So I just okay. So I went home. I went home thinking to myself. On my walk home at night, I'm thinking to myself, what is this animal? Then on my way walk home, I felt like I was being followed. I did not hesitate. I straight up rushed home, went to bed straight away, and woke up in the morning fresh as ever. I woke up pretty fresh. I decided to go to the duck pond, but this time, not knowing, this time, I decided to do something. I'm going to take some bread and see if I can feed whatever is there at night. I could, at day, I could feed it. At daytime, it was really, really quiet. And you know what? In the bushes, I could sort of see. I could literally see it right by in the bushes. Later on, I was watching it. This is daylight that time, and I was watching it go towards the pond. I'm thinking to myself, okay, what if I feed this animal? It looks adorable though, but what if I feed it? I don't know what this creature was, but let me just feed it. I fed the creature, and it looked at me, and it like and it stopped there, and it started to sort of laugh at me. Now, okay then. Now it laughed at me for a bit before eating the bread. Now, of course, I put the bread into small chunks, and the animal ate the bread, fed the animal basically. But thinking to myself, okay, what is this? Okay, thinking to myself, okay, I had no idea what it was. I stepped back for a bit. And I got out of view from the pond. As I went back closer to the pond, I realized that it was all gone. The animal, the chunks of bread I've got were all done. Now, I saw the animal was eating a bit slowly. It was eating like slowly. There's no way that it could have finished the bread, the chunks of bread, before I got a few meters away from the pond and just back again to see the animal and the chunks of bread completely gone with no sign that it's ever been there. I looked at the ground for small crumbs, nothing, and I could not find any trace of animal or bizarre animal prints anywhere. So at this position, later on, I went to the duck pond again the next day, but surprisingly, I've never heard that sound again, or I've never heard the animal again. And now this is what it was. A really bizarre, really bizarre experience, really creepy experience. But I've never heard since I've put the bread. I've never heard the animal again or any sound of the animal, even at night. Once I tried to go there at night, I've never heard the animal. But I do avoid going there at night still. But if I just stay there at daytime, just enjoy the view. And I've never heard any. Um, I've never experienced any bizarre sounds or seen any weird footprints on the ground or anything like that. But okay.